I want to tell you a story one day from my life. It was a year ago. I was in France, Lagunes de Paduc. So it's a national park, and the morning was already very windy, so I woke up early. I went down to my car to prepare a food and go kiting. I was kiting for about 2 hours. Then I went back to my car. I work a little bit so I can finish the stories for my client. And then I went to the city, which wasn't easy because this national park is very big, and the closest city from the place where I was in was 40 kilometers. And it wasn't the only obstacles. So at the entrance of the park, there were 2 huge pylons out of concrete. And my car was quite wide, so I barely could fit through it. The reason for those was that there were a huge rave parties on a beach, which was disrupting people out there, so they needed to put it out there. So I went to the city, I refilled my supplies, and I came back. And the people I met 2 days before convinced me that I should go for a sunset session. And it was a really awesome idea. So imagine the sun going slowly down behind the horizon, and feel of the power in your hands over the wind and water. With a small push of your hand, you can jump high up in above the water, flying, feeling the freedom with every piece of your body. It's really amazing, and it turns out to be one of my best sessions of kite surfing ever. When I came back, we sit by the fireplace. Children were doing a Danish bread on the stick. They fried it in a fireplace. Even though most people couldn't speak English, so there was obviously a language barrier, we had a lot of fun. And when I already thought I'm too tired to stand it, I just wanted to go sleep, I heard a lot of noises of people having laugh, having party about 200 meters away. So I went there. It turns out to be a hippie birthday with flowers, music, and all the trailers from 60s and 70s. So I stayed with them, had a really good time. So you might think it's a really good memory from the holidays, but actually I wasn't on holidays that day. So it was kind of my regular day of working, living, traveling. So for the past year, I've been traveling around the world. I've been in about 40 different kite spots in 11 countries and 3 continents. But it wasn't like that all the time. When I was on my 5th year of university, I started my company, and it was really hard for me at the beginning. I didn't even fully know the language that I was working with. I would work on 12 hours a day average with sprints out to 25 hours in a row. It was really hard, and those first 2 years were, made a huge impact on me. I was working so I can make a living, and the friends who were working already in the companies with a steady 8-hour job would still earn much more than I did. So it wasn't until I discovered kitesurfing which made me kind of reevaluate myself. I discovered that we work so we can live, not the other way around. And people don't usually realize this until it's too late. So they got old and finally stopped and asked themselves a question: am I happy? And the answer usually is no. But the problem is not only within ourselves. The problem is also with the community. So we are raised in a belief that we need a higher education to get a better working perspectives. So we tell our children that they need to learn every single subject there is so they can have a better job. And still, it is in a country where 250,000 people registered as unemployed are people with higher education. We are also killing creativity in those children by telling them that becoming a musician, a painter, or poet wouldn't make them a living. And it's simply not true. I met a number of people who are artists, that make a living outward. But the fact is, they were never rich, or rarely rich. But if I would ask them a question, if they would choose a different direction, if shown a chance, they would always say no. So there is a famous speech of Professor Alan Watts circulating around the internet. It has really millions of views. So the speech is called, "What do you desire?" And Professor Watts states out there that it's better to have a short life filled with the things you love than a long life that is the pure purpose of it is just to keep on living that you hate. So another lie is that people say that you need a steady 8-hour job. But really, what is it? So basically, if something happens in your company, in a company where you are working, and puff, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and you are gone without nothing. So the studies shows that in a couple of years, most of us here would be a freelancers anyway. So I didn't want to wait. 2 years ago, I made a plan. I bought a Land Rover Defender, which in my mind was like the best car to conquer the world. No, it wasn't. It was really crappy. It was 20 years old, so I sold it. So another car I bought was a car that is used to tow all the broken Defenders in Africa. But it was also a little bit crap. But no worries, I had it fixed. And with my father, I kind of rebuilt the interior. So inside I have 3 drawers, 5 shelves, 55 liters of water, solar panels, huge battery to power my laptop and internet, and a bed for 2. So with this car, I have already traveled 18,000 kilometers around Europe. So I've been in, well, obviously Poland, Germany, Italy, Malta, France, Spain, Portugal, Morocco, and Sardinia and Sicily. So I couldn't take this car with me to Asia. So I flew to Philippines. I was even on an uninhabited island in the middle of nowhere out there, of course, kite surfing, little less working, but still it was just 3 days. So from Philippines, I went to Thailand. In Thailand, I bought an old used Honda Wave. It's a scooter, or motorcycle, whatever. And I didn't have a driving license for it, so I basically learned how to drive a motorcycle in Asia, which is not a good idea. So I fitted a trailer to side of this motorbike, so every piece of my kitesurfing equipment could fit inside. And I'm not kind of a person you would call a backpacker, because I have like 50 kilograms of all the equipment, so it's quite a lot. And with this motorbike, I traveled 3,000 kilometers across Thailand, Cambodia, and Vietnam, getting more real-life likes than I could even count. So Vietnam wasn't too windy, just 3 days, so not much as for a month of traveling to this place. So I decided to go to Morocco. So I flew to Dakhla, and for 3 or 4 weeks, I was kitesurfing almost every single day. Then I came back to Poland, and I went to hell with my car, and I opened a mobile kitesurfing and co-working, so kind of every freelancer or person can have a glimpse of a life that I live. But also disadvantages of a lifestyle I chose. Well, I don't get holidays, but kind of if you think I'm on a holidays all the time. So I also quite usually work on weekends, but the reason for this is that sometimes in a week it's more windy, so I want to stay out there in the water and then work during the weekend. So people say I have it easier, I can work this way, and it's not for everyone, it's not for you, it's not for your friend. But I think, yeah, the truth is I have it easier, I can work this way. But shouldn't it be in the way that your work fits your lifestyle, not you fit your work? So if you think that you cannot travel even all the time, think about this. I met a couple in France, They were together for the past 6 years. He was French, and she was Italian. They had actually 2 crappy old 30 or 40 years old vans. Were totally rusty with stitches and everything. Why 2? Well, just in case something went wrong. So they would travel from place to place, usually not staying longer than a month. Sometimes they said that the longest they stayed in one place was 5 months. So when the money was finishing, she would play a flute on the streets, and he was a cook assistant, and he would basically grab any kind of work there was. So they were living for this for the past 6 years. They had a dog and a hideous-looking flower, but still, it was kind of like home wherever they went. So if you think that traveling it's not for you, think about priorities. Think what do you want to do. Think what do you really desire. Thank you.